Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Shreya Tayen. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. First and foremost, I am trying out a new video recorder. Hopefully this is just as good or works even better than the first one. And I want to make some announcements. First and foremost, I am going to limit my posts. Instead of posting every other day, I am only going to be posting twice a week because I have some other projects that I'm working on. I'm very excited about, and so I have to afford my time and my energy there. But I will be with you twice a week, my loves, giving you your weekly insight and what you need for your personal development and what's going on in the divine twin flame collective unions. All right, so without further ado, I want to get into this beautiful reading, but I want to tell you I did a special meditation instead of an extended version because I do meditations on the extended versions, but they're just mild spiritual work. And so I was awakened out of my sleep yesterday by source energy. We need to go deeper because there's so many of us divine femmes that are still doubting this union, doubting the path that is set before us. And source energy wanted to address that, or wanted me to address that. Let's just say it that way. And so I was guided by source energy on how to break contracts with these dark energies and entities that some of us, unbeknownst to ourselves, may have picked up in many incarnations, times, after time, we've made pacts, oaths, contracts, and vows to these, malevolent beings, and they're still running in the background in our programming, and we still have some attachments, and not everything is the divine masculine's fault, okay? Some of us have our own issues that we need to clear as well. And so therefore, if this resonates with you, then you can follow me on the other side after this reading, and we can go ahead and get into the removal and the revocation and null and void of these contracts. I also want to tell you what you do for yourself, you'll also be doing for your twin, because this is definitely a twin flame meditation. And so I have included your twin flame as well as doing the healing work. Whether you're in contact, communication or not, it doesn't matter. What you're going to be doing in this meditation is you're going to be helping to remove it from your field and their field, because you're one soul. Okay. And I cannot stress enough, if your divine masculine is under attack spiritually, or someone has casted the spell on them, contrary to belief, the spell is casted upon you too, because you're one soul. You can't separate the two of you. Okay. The two are one. So that's another thing that source energy wanted me to emphasize with you. What is done to your twin in the spiritual realm is also being done to you. Okay. You cannot separate yourself from your twin, whether you have free will or not. I'm going to just be very straight and candid with you guys, because this deals with your spirituality, and I am responsible of what I do not say, and what I know. I'm held accountable for my knowledge. So I'm going to give you the knowledge as well. And I do want to let you know that if you're easily triggered, then you may not want to watch the rest of this video, because I am going to be very candid, very blunt. And, I'm going to be tactful, you guys, because I always make sure that whatever I deliver to you guys is coming from a place of love and compassion, just like Jesus has taught us for over the last 2,000 years. And I'm going to make sure that I do it from my heart center, but there are some things that I have to call out. And if it resonates with you, fine. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine too. But the purpose of me doing this video is so you can heal on a spiritual and a cellular level, and to, be able to make some DNA modifications. Okay. So with that being said, let me go ahead and call in some help. I call in all 6 elements: air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod-Heh Vah-Heh, who will be able to give me the information that is necessary for this reading in all directions, time, and space, all universes, parallel universes, all dimensions and subdimensions, past, present, and future, and so it is. That was a mouthful. All right, so for those of you that are new to my channel, this is not in any way, shape, or form a personal reading, but for some of my subscribers, they have felt like it is a personal reading, and that's fine too. But I am just going to say for further emphasis, this is not your personal reading. You did not pay me for this reading. This is information for the collective. Take what resonates. Do not force this reading. Okay. Second, I would like to say that this is a triggering reading. Okay, I'm going to just be very straightforward and let you know that I'm about to call you on your stuff because I was led to do this by source energy. This is what I signed up for. You know, this is my path. This is my direction. And, you know, sometimes I may not always like doing what source tells me to do or say what source tells me to say, because of the content can be very heavy, but this is what I signed up for. This is my commission. This is my divine purpose. And so I'm going to be obedient to what it is that I need to do as your reader and as your guide. I ask that you do not take anything personal. If I do a personal reading for you, and I mentioned something about your divine masculine that may not have occurred to you before, or it may sound like something that is different from what you're used to, please know, especially if your divine masculine is in a third party situation, that people act different with other people. That's why they say different strokes for different folks. You can bring out the best in your divine masculine, or you can bring out the worst. And they can get in another relationship with someone and they can bring out the best, or they can bring out the worst. Okay. So how your divine masculine was with you, if I tell you that he's hitting, I'm just giving an example, or abusing the karmic, don't tell me, no, he ain't never hit me. And I doubt that he's hitting on the other person. Listen, you don't know what happens behind closed door, honey. And you don't even know anything about your divine masculine, because I can tell you that however they acted around you, they're acting completely different around the other person because of vibration, honey. Vibrational alignment is key to any relationship. And so whatever vibrational frequency, whether it's low vibratory or whether it's high vibrational, that is how they're going to react, and that's how they're going to respond. Now, I can almost guarantee you that they're not at a high vibrational state of being, because if they were, they will be in union with you if you're on a high vibrational being. And that's just saying that if you have done the work that it takes to be on 5D or above. Now, I'm saying this because I don't want you to come back to me and tell me that's not your divine masculine, because he never acted that way towards you, because you don't know how this divine masculine has acted. Let me tell you, even in a short period of time, you are not the same person that you were even yesterday, let alone the length of time that you and your divine masculine have been apart. You don't know what that person has been exposed to. Life happens to all of us. And based off of our moral ethics and conditioning, we respond accordingly. And that determines the energy of how we move and exist and have our being. And remember, when I do these readings, I am reading energy, okay? I don't have any personal feelings or qualms towards your divine masculine or divine feminine either way. I am very neutral and I'm non-biased. So if you get some information that is hard for you to swallow, I just ask that you look at this from a higher perspective and not be emotional about it, because being emotional is going to be your downfall in the twin flame journey. You have no time to be an emotional person or a negative Nancy or a negative Nelly. You do have to process the emotions. You do have to feel through the emotions, but you're not supposed to absorb it to the point where it affects your judgment and your speech and how you talk to me because of the information that I provided you. Okay. So I just want to say that because I've had a couple of things that have arisen this week that was something I've never dealt with before, due to some feedback that I've given in a reading. You know what? On a daily basis, I have to give people, not so great news. And that's just the way it is in this spiritual realm. I don't sugarcoat anything, but I'm not tactless. I'm very tactful. And, I try to give you a little bit of cushion with the blow, but that's just how it is in this, twin flame journey. You have blind spots that will catch you off guard. And it's not me that's doing it, it's the universe. The universe is the one that's ordering up your highs and your lows, not me. So I do want to let you know not to take it personal. All right. So I think I've covered as much as I possibly can on that. I want to get into divine feminine. And this divine feminine that I have channeled, I completely understand that you have got to want to break free. You want to get away from your divine masculine. You want to cut off all connections. But source energy has given me insight to give to you that this is not your divine masculine that is, dealing out these harsh comments, these harsh realities and attitudes and fits of anger towards you. This is coming from low vibrational entities and attachments that are connected to his auric field. And so cords do need to be cut. That's the whole purpose of why I did the meditation for you guys yesterday. I was supposed to upload this video yesterday, but for whatever reason, it did not upload. I had 45 minutes of content that did not get a chance to get uploaded yesterday. And so I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And so maybe you guys weren't ready yesterday to receive the message. Maybe today is a better day. And with that being said, I want to tell you that this divine feminine is starting off in the Eight of Swords energy. And we all know about the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is that stuck energy. You're not moving anywhere, but it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like you're doing it to yourself. No one's doing it to you but you. And so I want to get into further detail because I did clarification with the Five of Hearts and a clarification with the Ace of Swords. The Five of Hearts is your energy, and the Ace of Swords is your divine masculine's energy. Okay. So with the Five of Hearts, this lets me know that the divine feminine is basically destabilizing her relationship because of the mood swings. Because 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're cold. When it comes to this relationship, I feel like when a relationship is not moving, that is when you get antsy, and that's when you come out with the attitude, because you're like, I've done this, I've done that. You've not matched my energy, so therefore I'm going to cut you off. And a lot of you have gotten to that point where you have blocked and unblocked because of that. And so I want to tell you that this is coming from the heart element. We're in spring, and spring is the element of fire. And as a fire of hearts, you're able to sacrifice for country, family, and friends alike. Okay? You are so much of a giver. And people that are born under this energy act and look younger than their age. All right? For some of you, you may look 20 years to 10 years younger than your actual age itself. And you guys are very romantic, but you can be highly sensitive at times. Now, I want to say that this energy is a match for your divine counterpart. They're the same way. They're very romantic, but they're very highly sensitive. This is the same, common trait that both of you guys share. All right. And so another thing about you, divine femme, you're very affectionate. You're a very affectionate lover and a friend. And this is this is the energy that you're carrying at this now moment. Next, we have the Ace of Spades. I love the Ace of Spades because it's the most spiritual card in the deck. And it is the symbol of ancient mysteries, including cardology, the secret behind these cards, the playing cards. It's a complete science to it, okay? And this card also represents transformation. All right. So with that being said, with this card, you have the ability to reach spiritual truths more readily than perhaps any other card that is in this deck, coupled with ancient wisdom and ambition and drive to achieve on the material level and the physical level. Okay. Now, due to this merging of spiritual and mundane being and doing, this card may experience a conflict with the two as they attempt to achieve balance in their lives, speaking of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Sevens seem to surround this ace, which is the karmic 7 hearts. And the energy of 7 is spiritual transition, moving from the mundane concerns of life and moving toward the spiritual energies of faith. And I feel like that's the energy that you're in. You're in the the 9 to 5 rut, the normal, mundane things of life, but you're moving from out of that energy towards more of your spiritual truths and your spiritual faith. All right. So if you look at this card, you have the 8 of Swords. With the 8 of Swords, divine feminine, you have been in this stuck energy for way too long. And so the 8 of Swords then presents you with your final enemy. And you have met that enemy. And that person is the one that you stare and look at in the mirror. The tarot deck constantly talks about how, the 8 of Swords is literally like the pointing the finger directly at self, like a self-saboteur, okay? And that you are your inner me, your enemy, your self-saboteur, basically. And if you look at this card, if you look at the expression, the right hand grips over the left hand. And this symbolizes that there is no attacker. You are both the assailant and the victim, you see. And this card is showing up today because you don't need to go looking. You don't need to strive for more weaponry to try to fight something that is outside of you. All that you need is here in plain sight. And it all could be over actually today. But the bad news is that some of you do not want it to. And after all, you become your own worst enemy. And there's something that's keeping you stuck in this place, whether it's self-doubt, confusion about what you really want, or perhaps certainty that what you really want is going to go against your principles and your goals in some type of way. So there is a constant battle that is brewing inside of you, and you just remain motionless. You remain stuck. And as I said before, I'm going to be very candid as possible. Being here you've made excuses to stay this way, but you can use the knowledge that you have gained along the way to find a solution to become unstuck. And now's the time to realize that you have complete control, whether or not you want to or not. It's really pretty much up to you to take the wheel and drive out of this place, because you are in a place of motionless inactivity. And you don't have to be, okay? It's self-imposed. Now, I do want to tell you that there are some very beautiful qualities about you. The High Priest is showing up to remind you to look into that beautiful mirror. You are the High Priestess, which is representing spirituality and holiness. You are a mystical force, unknowable, unfathomable, spiritual, and mysterious in many, many ways. The High Priestess' secrets are not really secrets at all because of her deception, rather because they are mystical arcane. You have hidden arcane knowledge. And until you are wise enough to discover them inside yourself as well, you will be in this stuck energy. It is the knowledge that moves you, the applied knowledge, okay? And like tarot itself, her power is interested and revealing the dark corners of your soul. Not dark as in negative, but dark as in unseeable or hidden. You cannot truly be yourself without searching for these hidden parts of yourself. And so the mirror on the card reflects you. But what you choose to see when you glimpse inside of this glass is pretty much up to you. And it's beyond your physical form. You are ever so much more than your body and even your own mind, which is a self-container for limitations sometimes. And when the high priestess appears in your reading, it's a sign that you need to step away from the external 3D concerns and look within. Stop looking at what's on the outside, because that's an illusion. That's Maya. Embrace your unconsciousness, please. And you must understand, you may not always understand, comprehend, or recognize where your intuition is coming from, but do listen to it anyway, okay? Now, when you get the moon card, so many readers, they always talk about, oh, there's secrets that are being held, and, you know, the dark, the gloom, the bad, the ugly, the big bear that's hovering over you, the skeletons in the closet that are about to fall out about your divine masculine or the other person that you're inquiring about. But here, I'm going to give you a different angle with this deck, okay? I want you to think about dreaming of illusion and self-fulfilling prophecies and self-doubt, because this is what the moon is coming to reveal to you. All right? There's not enough illumination before you to be certain that there is enough for you to light up your path that's before you at all. And so therefore, you're in the dark. You're in the dark about everything. Okay? And so you're just kind of like burying your way through, you know, hum-humming around. All right? Whichever way that may be. If the wind blows you to the left, you'll go to the left. If the wind blows you to the right, then you'll go to the right. And so you're not sure if you're headed toward a pearl or a comfort zone, or if you're only going around in circles. The only true sense of comfort that you have really is the night, because you know that the night can only last so long, and then in the morning it brings the clarity that is needed. And until then, you sit there and you wait for it to come. And when you receive this moon card, I just want to let you know that it means that you're not in a comfortable place. I want you, instead of looking at it as secrets or something that needs to be revealed, I want you to look at it as something that is very beautiful for you. I want you to look at this as dreamy possibilities. I want you to look at this card as meaning that anything is possible. A lot of good ideals can come out of this liminal space. And what goes in the dark definitely comes out in the light. And I'm referring to your thought process, how you think. In harmony with working with the law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about. And let the daylight bring you only what you want, making your dreams come true instead of bringing about the nightmares of the dark night that you have been conjuring up in your mind. And it's time to start awakening to something that is bigger than yourself. The moon can also represent fertility, whether symbolic or literal. This is a general reading, so take what resonates. But I really feel like for some of you, you're going to become pregnant, or you're already pregnant and do not know. The King of Swords also have gotten a bad rap in other tarot decks as well. But in this tarot deck, the author gives so much praise to the King of Swords because of his knowledge, his judicial thinking, his fairness, his intellect, his truth. And unlike how the Queen appears in this deck, which is bitter, and she's not always favored by people because of her truth palette, is very hard to swallow for those that have problems with the truth palette. Okay, so the king here, he's represented by your divine masculine. That's what this card represents. And so it's just saying to look from a different vantage point, one that is emotional, both emotional and moral. Okay. And this is what the king does. He looks at, things that are both emotional and morality. And I'm not saying that he always exercises them. Okay. But what I am saying is that he is the man that sees the bigger picture and observes others and know that, in fact, emotions and morality play a simple part, an integral part, and cannot, be separated in decision makings, especially good decisions. Okay. They have to be accounted for and they have to be taken into account. So most people come to your divine masculine to seek him out for advice and consultation because he is very intelligent and he has the answers. So it's not like as if he do not know. But don't get me wrong, when his feathers are ruffled, he can be the extreme narcissist that most people talk about, and he can be very ruthless. Okay. Not saying that he's that way all the time, because really honestly from this reading, I really gathered that your divine masculine is very sweet. Okay. He has a very good demeanor, but he has a very nasty attitude sometimes as well. It's like the pendulum swings both ways with him. All right. So right now, your current energy in which you're experiencing, you're feeling like as if someone has dishonored you, someone has dejected you. You know, the Five of Swords means being rejected, left out in the cold, right? So no one likes to lose. No one likes to, fight a losing battle. And I really want you to know, and I want to emphasize that, and most readers don't, but I'm going to do it today, that all fives indicate adversity. In all of the suits of the cards that are in the deck, the Five of Swords honestly is the most ugliest. And the reason why is because no one wins. Nobody wins. And the fight indicated by this card is either you or the other party behaving dishonorably in some type of way, if not outright cheating. Now I said you or the other party, okay? So this person is bending the rules or otherwise ignoring ethics and morals, and they're not taking it into consideration. It also suggests that the fight is not really won by any of the parties. You guys are both losing. And one thing that is often not discussed is that when you see the Five of Swords, it means a time for you to take the high road. One of you have to be willing to compromise and step back away from the situation. And it's going to hurt you as much as it's going to hurt the other party. And that's what's not talked about and not touched on. Both of you are hurting. But for you, I feel like it hurts you so bad that you have really kept a tight, firm grip onto this union and this relationship to not lose any of the feathers. But if you look at this card, and if you look at it very closely, some of those feathers got away anyway, no matter how tight you chose to hold on. You can only do what's in your power, okay? So therefore, it's time to take a break away from all of these contracts that no longer serve you, especially the contracts with these lower thought forms and entities. And, I can't say it enough. For a lot of you that have known about spiritual warfare in the twin flame union, the moment that you step foot into it and you agree to take it on, I feel like that's the moment that you become attacked. And the lower entities, they attack you in many different ways. I won't go into so many details on this video because of the allotted time that I have. But just know that there is spiritual weaponry and this battle definitely can be won. Okay. Now, I want to tell you that with the Page of Coins being here, you are a very responsible person, okay? You are perfectly capable and willing to funnel this like nebulous feelings into actual plans, okay? You turn your ideals into plans. All you need to do is just get the details of a situation. And with the details, you're willing to learn. You're willing to do whatever it takes. And I feel like this represents your union. Just give me what I need to do and I'm going to do it. You are a doer and not a sayer. Now you have the Chariot, which is represented by the two dragons here. I'm going to take a little bit of time to express the Chariot because this is the most misunderstood card in the tarot deck, if you ask me, in my personal opinion. I feel like before I touch really deep on this, I do want to say this. I feel like there's been like a constant battle between you and your divine masculine, but I don't feel like it's between you and your divine masculine. I feel like it's been between you and the other lower thought forms, energies, and entities that have been attached to your twin flame. And at times when your person acts out of character, just know that it's not them, that it's really the other spirits that are in the spiritual realm that are infiltrating and pretending to be your divine masculine. And I just want to say, I am not in any way, shape, or form condoning abuse, misconduct, narcissistic, or misbehaviors that are coming from this union. And I'm not using the twin flame journey to become a cesspool for abuse in any way, shape, or form. But what I am saying as a point rather than a physical standpoint. And so I see what most people can see when, someone is, possessed, okay? Or they have. The Chariot is about self-control and balancing your energies, okay? When I say balancing your energies, I'm talking about your inner twin, your divine masculine within and your divine feminine within. Okay, when you do that, so within, so without, the duality that the Lover card's mother is about becomes a problem by the time the Chariot shows up in a reading. Okay, we didn't get the Lover card, but when the Chariot shows up in a reading, and once you've been through all of that, third party situations, divine masculine gaslighting and ghosting you, you get to the point where the Chariot is either going to move or it's not. And there are two sides to you, singly opposite, and you, I feel, keep being thrown from one to the other extreme, okay? And I want you to look at this from a different perspective. When you get the Chariot, based off of the rest of the cards, when they agree on a direction, the Chariot moves forward swiftly and quickly. That means that union is about to come. Like, union is like staring you in the face, okay? The Chariot grinds to a halt when the cards disagree. And right now, you have come to a complete halt. And oftentimes the duality of this card refers to our emotions versus our intellect. And the heart says one thing, and then the head says another, and then the Chariot will not move. One part of you shouts out for safety, run, 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 run from the union. And then the other one urges you to take the damn risk. How many have you been there? I know I have. Plenty of times, I admit it. There is a reason why the dragons on this card are dark and light. They appear to be the opposites. They represent the dark masculine and the light feminine. Now, don't get me wrong. There is dark feminine energy that we are fighting up against. This is why we've been clearing bloodlines and everything else. Okay? So it can be reversed because we're talking about, switch polarities as well. Duality has everything to do with that. So with that being said, on this energy reading and for this card, it is what it is. It's the dark masculine and the light feminine. You remember that the light has to be casted from the dark. And when you and your twin come into a complete harmonious resonance, this Chariot will pick up and move once again, and it will come to you. And it will come to you fast. And last but certainly not least, you have the Wheel of Fortune. By this card being here, the Wheel of Fortune is asking you to believe in the workings of something bigger than yourself. This twin flame journey is bigger than you see. God, source energy, divine providence, Mother, Father God, Yad-He Vahe, Jesus, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Krishna, Vishnu, whatever it is, fate, destiny. Even just in a pair of time with a capital T, just know change is coming. And when this change comes, you can say what you want. You can say what you like. But it is written somewhere, something, somebody has decided that things are going to be shaken up in your life, whether you like it or not. And yeah, you can say, I have free will, I can do what I want to do. But I tell you what, the free will of fortune, or the wheel of fortune, don't care about your free will. It doesn't care about whether it deals you something good or bad, because it's going to deal you back what you sowed. Okay, you're going to weep it. It's going to come back. And you don't have a choice on what the will deals you. The will reminds us that events and fortunes comes in cycles. And right now you're in a cyclical state with your twin flame. So things are, if they're good for you right now, just save up those emotions, okay? Because there's going to come a time that they're not going to be so great. It's inevitable. And if things are bad for you right now, just know that your harvest is going to come. And just prepare for the harvest. And I do want to let you know that I understand completely why most of you want to break away from your union. I've been there plenty of times. But the angels, Yadhe Vahe, has encouraged me to continue. And as long as God tells me to keep going, I'm going to keep going, you guys, because as much as I hate to admit this, we are fighting a spiritual warfare with dark energy. And for some of you that are having these issues with your divine masculine, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You're not only just dealing with your divine masculine, you're dealing with some dark forces. And this is the reason why I offered a meditation, because it has been put on my heart ever since yesterday morning when I was awakened out of my sleep. Source Energy told me to do the meditation. For those of you that are interested, it is $22.22, and it is worth every bit of that, because it helps you to stand in your autonomy. It helps you to break free from the lower energies that are even connected to you that are unbeknownst to yourself. It helps you to take control over your union. It helps you to remove the entities from your divine counterpart. I do this work myself in greater lengths and detail than I do on the meditation. It takes me about an hour to do this work. But you have the opportunity to do it today yourself for only $22. I charge $77.77, and that is just my YouTube price. Okay, I have clients outside of this that pay way more. But the point is, no matter where you are or how high you climb on this spiritual ladder, there will always be dark forces in the dark side trying to prevent you. Look at Jesus Christ. When he went and he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, did not the spirit of Satan meet with him to tempt him? I'm trying to tell you that there was no one that has even walked the face of the earth that was more of higher vibrations than Christ himself. So by stepping into your divinity and sovereignty and revoking all contracts during the meditation, it makes it a lot easier for you to be happier on your journey. It removes the blocks that were set there for entrapment from those on the dark side. And it helps you to be very happy in where you are, whether you're in union or not, because you don't have anything else pulling on you. And I want to take that weight away from you, because as a intuitive and as a person that is living of higher consciousness, I don't deal with some of the emotions that most of you deal with, because I do not do it on the 3D plane. I do everything that I need to do for my union 5D and above. Okay. And right now I'm working all the way up to 9D on what I'm doing for me and my twin flame. And I want to extend the same courtesy to you guys, because I feel like I'm responsible of what I know. And as I learn, I want to be able to teach, because that's the purpose of all of us. We are all teachers, okay? And I have learned some things even from you, many of you. My learning will never cease. Your learning will never cease. And with that being said, I have come to the conclusion of your reading, Divine Femme. Keep your head up. I know that what we really want to say, we don't know, because we didn't know, for many of you that have watched this video, that there is, you know, the other side that is pulling on the union, and this is why you can't be in union right now. All right. So it is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a love donation if you feel inclined to, or you can donate to the channel. I now wrap you in my love, and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste.